How you doing? I'm Kevin O'Hara for habitsunplugged.com. Today's question is, does your metabolism slow with age, right? The quick answer is yes, it does, but only by a very small, minuscule amount. You know, it's not such a big thing that makes a huge difference in your life. And one of the main reasons for this is because as you age, you tend to lose a bit of your muscle mass and gain a bit more fat. You know, if you think about the effectiveness of an exercise routine when you are 25 and compare that to a guy who's 60, look at what they can do. You know, look at the effectiveness of that exercise routine on that person. You know, some of the things that tend to stay the same or to alter as you age. Thermogenesis, which is your food processing, tends to stay generally the same. The older you get, the less you move. You know, you either use it or lose it, and that tends to be a universal thing. You know, the older you get, the more pains you feel and the less likely you are to move, the more difficult it is to get up in the morning and go out and run or walk or do these things. But you can alter that fact, and you can, you know, work around that, work your exercise routines around that. People tend to eat differently. You know, you've got more money on your hands for a start, so you can eat richer foods if you want. I mean, you know, think about the difference between the diet of a student and the diet of somebody who's earning good money. You know, it's completely different. You know, people tend to eat a richer diet when they get more money into the pocket. It's just a fact of life. So the richer your diet, the more heavy nutrients you've got to deal with. You know, the more heavier fats and proteins and carbohydrates you have to deal with. So what can you do to at least stabilize or increase your metabolism? You know, one of the things is to increase and maintain, stabilize your lean muscle mass. You can do this through weights. You can do this through anaerobic exercise, which is sort of high intensity for short bursts. One of the things, if you're older and you've got a bit more money, a bit more disposable income, is to get a personal trainer, even, you know, once a month. I've got a guy now I'm starting with next week, and he's charging me €20 an hour, so I can afford to do that once a week for the first couple of months anyway. That's the plan. And it's because I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, you know. When I walk into a gym, I see a machine, I know how to use most of the machines. I think most of the machines are pretty obvious, that you either pull this down or you lift it up or you spread it apart, you know. So that's an easy part of it. The difficult part of it is to know how many times to do this, or what weights to put onto it, or what sequence to do this in. And I haven't got a clue what I'm talking about there, so I'm going to get a guy who knows what he's talking about and pay him a very reasonable amount of money to do it, right, for me, to show me these things and to stand there while I'm doing it and to push me, because I've no idea of my limits with this thing. I mean, I've been into a gym many times in my life. I haven't stayed in the gym over a long periods of time for many different reasons. One, because finance, you know, you tend to think, well, you know, like, I'm spending this money on this, and if you haven't got a lot of money, it's easy to see how you can divert that money away to more important things to you in life. You know, when you're younger and you're fitter, those more important things in life can be sort of like going out on Saturday night for a piss up on the town, you know, when you know, you're not feeling the physical consequences of that. So, you know, for me now, going into the gym is sort of it's all about trying to get somebody to push me and to understand my own limits in there, you know, and we'll see how that goes. Other ways of doing this is to clean up your diet, you know, try and eliminate as much of the crap as you can. The older you get, the more sensitive your body becomes to shit food, right? It's just basically it, you know. What a young guy who can go into McDonald's and eat what the fuck he wants When he gets older, finds it much more difficult to do that without feeling the consequences. Feeling the consequences, right? When you're young, doesn't mean to say that there is no consequences. You know, those consequences are generally underneath it all and are hidden away below your high metabolic rate, your ability to push past little niggles and all this kind of stuff. But as you get older, you'll find that the sensitivity becomes much more sensitive. You know, so clean up your diet, eliminate as much of the crap as possible, and try and think about nutrition first and entertaining your taste buds second. You know, you should be eating good food. I eat a whole foods plant-based diet 99.9% of the time. Never touch meat, dairy products, like I say, in that 0.01% of the time, right? And I tend to stick to that, you know, most of the time. Another way of doing this is to eat regularly. Make sure that you're regularly fueling your body and giving your body what it needs to get through. Another one is to drink plenty of water. Hydrating yourself is important, especially the older you get. You know, your whole body relies on this, not just your metabolism, but your metabolism especially relies on a good supply of clean water going through your system. When I'm talking about hydration, I mean water. Don't fucking mix it up with beer or Coca-Cola or any of these shit drinks, you know. Water is the best job. It's the thing that is going to give you the most hydration. Eating a plant-based diet also means that you're taking care of your thyroid a lot better. Thyroid is an important part of your system. So eating a plant-based diet gives you all the nutrients and vitamins that you need, not only for your thyroid, but for the rest of your system. And finally, get enough rest and exercise. So have that in a good balance, you know. Don't be trying to burn the candle at both ends. If you exercise a lot, you also need to have a lot of rest. So I hope that explains some of that, even though your metabolism is going to decrease a little bit as you get older, not by much, but there are many factors that can either split in one direction or the other. So until next time, I'm Kevin O'Hara for habitsunplugged.com. Remember that habit change is gradual, right? It requires persistence for you to do it. The 3 P's of habit change are persistence, positivity, and patience. Take care of yourself. Good luck. Bye-bye now.